Good morning, Marisha Trembetska here. They always talk about gaining 10,000 hours to be an expert. But if you started today, whatever age you are, if you spent an hour a day on something, to get to that 10,000 hour mark, it would take you 27.39 years, 27.4 years. But if you did 4 hours a day at this thing you're trying to excel at, it would only take you 6.85 years. So that's 27 years versus nearly 7. Just doing it that extra 3 hours a day. And if you crunch the numbers further, which I've done, because that's what I do on a Wednesday morning in September, if you did 2 hours a day, it would take you 13.7 years. So 1 hour a day, 27 plus years, 2 hours a day, 13.7. So you can really see in this case, so basically less than half, just doing that extra. It's simple math. But what it does show you that if you want to get really good at something, you just have to really put the effort in. If, for example, though, you were going to spend 6 hours a day, like when if you go to school for something, or I've certainly kind of studied to be a musician and an actor, and I've done musical theatre, etc. When I've gone and done serious levels of study, if you spend 6 hours a day doing something, it will only take you 4.56 years to get to that 10,000 hours. So it just shows that whenever you kind of put really major effort in on a daily basis, it can't help but absolutely move your life forward. And so today's very quick, but I think very important podcast topic for my Love Your Creativity and Make Money is this idea of strategic quitting. Because if we're going to say, right, I don't want to take over 27 years to be really good at something, I'd rather do 2 hours a day and only take 13 and a half, or 4 hours a day and take less than 7 years, which is pretty amazing. If you think, right, as of today, I can't play the guitar at all, but if I chose to spend 4 hours a day at it, in less than 7 years, you'd be pretty good before it, but that 10,000 mark. But to be able to put the extra time and effort in per day, something else has got to give. So strategic quitting is all about going, what is my number one priority? And then if I want to spend more time doing that, what am I going to have to give up? What am I going to have to look at in my life and go, that is time wasted on a daily basis? Now, obviously, time with family and friends is not time wasted. So we all have our own particular blend of crazy. I think when, if you're trying to write a book and you've got a full-time job and you've got a family, or you're caring for relatives, these are all very important things you have to balance. But what you do have to understand is if you can find that extra hour a day or 2 hours a day, you can really start moving the needle forward on any project and get to that 10,000 hours, or indeed finish it. So John Grisham, the lawyer who wrote all those Time to Kill and those thousands of kind of lawyer thriller books, he was a lawyer. I don't know if he still is, but for many, many years while he was being very successful as an author, he was still going to his day job as a lawyer, but he'd write the books on the train on the way in. There are a myriad examples of people just going, okay, this is my life. We don't all get to throw it all away and just be an artist, although I have done that before. I've kind of done every which way around, full-time artist, part-time artist, full-time something else, and trying to fit the art in. And wherever you are, and of course, this COVID situation, lockdown, everyone's finances are really a bit, very difficult for lots of people, especially if you are in the arts and the entertainment industry. We've been particularly hit. But the truth is, what can you look at your life and go, okay, I am going to spend 1 hour or 2 hours a day on this particular thing. And no matter what, I'm going to find, even if it's just 15 minutes, find that time. But to do it, you're going to have to give up something. So what is time wasted in your life? I love a bit of RuPaul's Drag Race. Not going to lie, I've watched it I think since it started. And I've discovered there's a UK one. But I could just watch one RuPaul's Drag Race episode rather than having to do a marathon and get other things done. There's so many other things. So it is about, if I want to get this thing done, what am I going to have to quit? It could be a dramatic friend. Obviously, be compassionate, but there are definitely things that we do. For example, if you want to try exercising again, we all know it takes time. So something else has to go. I'm obviously not the first person to talk about this focus. There's a fabulous but very full-on book by Tim Grover called Relentless. So Tim Grover was a trainer for over 15 years to Michael Jordan, the basketball player, and of course temporary baseball player. And he's worked with some of the greatest athletes in the world, and they are so uber focused on getting their 10,000 in and then keep on being perfect. It's just a different level than certainly I am at. Although I do understand that when I'm doing my projects, when I'm about to put a show onto stage and I'm developing it, every show I know. At the moment, I'm developing my singing psychic character, and she's now becoming DJ singing psychic. So setting up all the DJ gear, doing a weekly DJ singing psychic radio show, because effectively it makes me write a show every week. There's tech problems, there's time problems, but it's my thing. I've said, right, I'm going to once a week make sure that I get this done. And so therefore it's making me work towards it. So other podcasts you might want to have a listen to of mine there's a Junk or Joy one I did a few weeks ago. I started that 3 weeks ago, and I'm really finding great results from that. And also I have got I don't call them deadlines, they're called lifelines for me, episode you'll find on my podcast, Love Your Creativity and Make Money. Because I always have to work to a deadline. But right here and now, I don't have a deadline of a fringe show, of a gig in Australia. I don't go, oh, my TEDx talk is next week. Or, oh, I'm doing the Brit Awards, which I've done. I've done amazing gigs. But because I know something's coming, whereas at the moment, I'm like, I have no gigs. Apart from I could do virtual ones. But it's a different kind of level of focus. And obviously, I'm doing online stuff. It's different. So that's just my thought of the day. What are you going to quit? On a daily basis, what are you going to do less of so you can do your absolute priority? And just track it for a week, maybe. Go, okay, I'm going to write my novel or work on my Photoshop skills so I can be a better in my work, or my multimedia artist, or whatever it is you have to do to try and get your 10,000 hours up in a specific area. Because you never stop learning, right? But something else has to give. So I've now got my evenings back because I'm not gigging 5 nights a week like I normally would. And I have got my 10,000 hours on stage as a performer, as a host, as a comic, as an actor. But I'm also aware that when I next get back on stage live, it's going to be weird because I won't have done it for months. So there's ways of dealing with this. If you would like to work with me, or indeed book one of my singing psychic game shows or DJ singing psychic events, or equally my Queen show, then do let me know. I'm on @The Singing Psychic on Twitter, @Sing Psychic on Twitter, and @The Singing Psychic on Facebook and Instagram. And acting-wise, of course, if you want to work with me, then you can talk to my agent. There'll be some links in the link tree where you can get hold of everybody. So I hope you have a really good beginning of September. It's so like back to school, isn't it? But I always find the energy really brilliant, so I'm using it wisely. So have a great few days ahead, and I'll be back in a week talking about something else, no doubt. So have a good one. Bye. My name's Marisha Trembetska for Love Your Creativity and Make Money.